The third day of the Motilal Oswal Investor Conference was dominated by leaders from the housing finance space, including Indiabulls Housing Finance, PNB Housing and Aditya Birla Capital. Shrugging off the recent slowdown in the housing credit market, the top honchos from the industry said they remain bullish on the sector. More in this report.
With loans to the corporate sector slowing down, both banks and NBFCs have started to reorient their books towards housing finance. But now RBI data shows that loans to the housing sector have declined from about 18% levels a year ago to 10% now by banks. And even ICRA's latest report points out to the fact that housing credit from both banks and NBFCs included has slowed down to 14% as of June compared to 18-20% levels 2 years ago. But industry leaders that we spoke to from this sector seem very bullish.
And the big five, along with HDFC, LIC, Indiabulls Housing Finance, DHFL and PNB, take care of about 83% of the portfolio. So there is a lot of, I would say, game yet to come to the forefront by the other smaller housing finance companies which are not so well known. If we were to just project based on the current levels of disbursements, which are about 4,25,000 crores, and if we were to project it for another, let's say, 5 years at the same CAGR, then it is not surprising that the annual disbursements will be in the vicinity of about 10 lakh crores, 2.5 times.
Momentum is extremely strong. Banks and housing finance companies both have been following different strategies. Banks are slightly distracted and are grappling with non-performing loans, capital issues, manpower issues. So the growth there has been rather slow. In the first quarter, they grew by only 11%. Most large housing finance companies are still growing between 20 and 30%. So I think that little bit of a divergence in strategy would continue. Housing finance companies' consensus is that should be growing between 20 and 30. Within that, I think a player like Indiabulls Housing, we will continue to target a 30% kind of growth.
Industry leaders attribute the current sluggishness in the housing credit market to recent disruptions like the RERA and the GST. They also add that with the government's push towards housing, as well as India's huge unmet demand in the housing sector, it may only be a matter of time before credit to this sector picks up again. In Mumbai, Ritu Singh.